Breakups are rarely easy, but sometimes the pain does not hit right away. Instead, it sneaks up days, weeks, or even months later, catching people completely off guard. This phenomenon is known as the relationship hangover. It is that unexpected wave of sadness, nostalgia, or regret that can feel even more intense than the breakup itself. Why does this happen? Why do some people seem fine at first, only to be blindsided by heartbreak later on? Today, we are diving deep into the psychology and science behind delayed breakup pain, exploring why the emotional aftermath can be so unpredictable and what can be done to truly move on. A relationship hangover is not just a catchy phrase, it is a real emotional experience. Imagine waking up after a night out, feeling the effects of what you did hours before. In the same way, a relationship hangover is the emotional aftermath that lingers long after the breakup has happened. At first, someone might feel relieved, numb, or even strangely optimistic. But as time passes, the reality of the loss begins to sink in. The memories, routines, and shared dreams start to haunt daily life. This delayed reaction can be confusing and overwhelming, making it hard to understand why the pain is only now becoming so intense. To understand why breakup pain can be delayed, it helps to look at what is happening in the brain and body. When a relationship ends, the brain experiences a withdrawal similar to what happens when someone quits an addictive substance. Love activates the reward centers of the brain, releasing chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. When that source of pleasure is suddenly removed, the brain struggles to adjust. Initially, the shock or denial can act as a buffer, protecting people from the full impact. Over time, as the brain recalibrates, the emotional pain surfaces. Studies have shown that heartbreak activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain, which explains why it can feel so intense and even debilitating. This delayed response is the body's way of coping with overwhelming emotions. One of the main reasons breakup pain can hit later is because of denial and distraction. Right after a breakup, it is common to throw oneself into work, hobbies, or social activities as a way to avoid dealing with the loss. Friends might encourage going out, meeting new people, or focusing on self-improvement. While these distractions can be helpful in the short term, they often delay the grieving process. Denial acts as an emotional shield, allowing people to function without being overwhelmed by sadness. But eventually, when the distractions fade and life slows down, the reality of the breakup becomes impossible to ignore. That is when the relationship hangover sets in, often with surprising force. Emotional triggers play a huge role in why breakup pain can resurface unexpectedly. It might be a song on the radio, a familiar scent, or a place that was once special. These triggers can instantly transport someone back to moments shared with their ex, reigniting feelings that seem to have faded. Sometimes it is not even a specific memory, but a feeling of loneliness or longing that creeps in during quiet moments. The brain stores emotional memories in powerful ways, and it only takes a small reminder to bring them flooding back. This is why the relationship hangover can feel so sudden and overwhelming, even if everything seemed fine just a day before. In today's digital age, social media can make moving on from a breakup even harder. Seeing an ex updates, photos, or new relationships can trigger fresh waves of pain, even long after the breakup. Algorithms are designed to keep people engaged, which means reminders of the past can pop up unexpectedly. It is easy to fall into the trap of checking an ex's profile, comparing lives, or reading into every post. This constant exposure prevents emotional wounds from healing and can prolong the relationship hangover. In some cases, people even experience phantom notifications, where they think their ex has reached out, only to realize it was just wishful thinking. Not all coping mechanisms are helpful when it comes to healing from a breakup. Some people turn to rebound relationships, excessive partying, or even substance use to numb the pain. While these strategies might provide temporary relief, they often make things worse in the long run. Avoiding emotions only delays the healing process, and unhealthy habits can create new problems. It is important to recognize when coping mechanisms are actually preventing growth. True healing requires facing emotions head-on, rather than running from them. Otherwise, the relationship hangover can linger for months or even years, making it harder to move forward. Healing from a relationship hangover starts with self-awareness. It is important to acknowledge the pain rather than suppressing it. Journaling, talking to supportive friends, or seeking therapy can help process emotions in a healthy way. Setting boundaries with an ex, both online and offline, is crucial for creating space to heal. Practicing self-care, such as exercising, eating well, and getting enough sleep, supports emotional recovery. It is also helpful to rediscover passions and interests that may have been put aside during the relationship. Over time, these positive steps can transform the relationship hangover into an opportunity for personal growth and resilience. The relationship hangover is a real and often misunderstood part of the breakup process. It is normal for the pain to hit later, and it does not mean something is wrong. Understanding the science, emotional triggers, and the impact of social media can make it easier to navigate the ups and downs of heartbreak. Remember, healing is not a linear journey. There will be good days and bad days, but with time and self-compassion, it is possible to move forward. If this topic resonated, consider sharing this message with others who might need it. For more insights on relationships, healing, and self-discovery, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the VL Breaker channel.